Hey, what's up there, Internet? I am Troy to the Max Extreme.
And I'm Ghost Hunter Dave.
And this is Imperius Rex.
A very special Imperius Rex, Troy.
Boy, howdy, Dave, is it?
Oh man, two big events. One of which...
One.
Justice League, the movie.
Right around the corner.
I can almost see it. I can almost taste it.
Hopefully, does not disappoint.
Well, it's 50-50 at this point. So yeah, we thought we'd do a little Justice League themed episode.
Yes.
Because everyone's been wanting this. We're finally getting it, seeing all the heroes together.
That's right.
The big screen for the first time.
That's right.
So, well, you know, since Batman vs. Superman, they're all in it too. But we thought, what better way to celebrate this and build anticipation than to rope in or unite.
Very good.
Unite the entire Imperius Rex employee set. Hold on, let me...
Terrible.
No, what would we call this? What would we call it?
I'm not getting paid for this.
So we thought, what better way to celebrate this than by uniting the entire Imperius Rex... Help me out here.
Crew? 3?
Yes. Crew. Okay. All right. This is how the donuts are made. Gathering and uniting the entire Imperius Rex crew. Pulling everyone in from all corners of the globe.
That's right.
Which means this is the episode, dear viewers and friends, where we unveil the identity of the mysterious third member of Imperius Rex.
Much like Planetary, when the mysterious fourth member is
they know it's like Planetary.
Okay. I'm just making a thing.
But we're gonna go into it. Make the thing. Oh, wait, and one more thing. Our book club of the evening is Darwyn Cooke's New Frontier. Now, cue the song.
As you may have noticed, the mysterious third member is upon us.
Oh my. I didn't even... Was he here the whole time? Were we wearing this the whole time?
Oh no!
Oh my god. So who is this guy?
Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Dinosaur Neil, folks.
Dinosaur Neil.
Very good.
Original founding member of Imperius Rex. Back when it was a mysterious book club, correct?
That's right. The date on the cornerstone of this building has a memoriam of him in it.
Yep.
For when he passes.
Exactly. Yeah. So, do you want to reveal that you two are brothers?
No.
No?
Probably shouldn't.
All right, we'll keep that. We'll keep that off air. All right.
And we read Justice League New Frontier. Boy, was it a great one. Tell you what, I think one of the best Justice League stories I may have ever read.
I agree. Do you think the movie is gonna... Hold on, hey, new guy.
New old guy.
Do you think this is gonna be a little glimpse in what we're gonna get in the movie?
The Justice League movie?
Yes.
No.
Nope, me neither. But on a lighter note, like, it's excellent, and it was a recommendation by our third member here.
That's right.
Neil, did you have something to say? Well, hold on. Really, you can talk.
Oh! I agree with him.
Nicely said.
Perfectly said. That's the show, everyone.
All right, thanks for coming. So, Justice League New Frontier. Is it Justice League or is it just New Frontier?
I think it's DC New Frontier, right?
It's over there.
Where's the book?
Behind you.
It's behind you.
See there? You can hold it up.
DC, the New Frontier. No Justice League.
No Justice League. Ooh, poor choice for our tie-in episode. There it is, folks. Completely created by Darwyn Cooke, the late Darwyn Cooke, the late great Darwyn Cooke, because this is, would you say, like, it might be his masterpiece?
His magnum opus.
Yeah.
If you will.
I will. It was made in 2004, 6 issues long, big 6 issues.
Yeah, oversized issues.
Yep. Yeah, and an animated adaptation followed 4 years later, I think, in '08, and it's a fantastic adaptation. Probably one of the best that DC has produced.
Yeah.
And one of the first, too.
Yep. And one of the closest, I think, compared to its source material.
Right. Yeah. Exactly true. In art and story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's set in the 50s, depicting Golden Age superheroes like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, meeting the up-and-coming Silver Age heroes, Flash, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, and it acts as kind of like a passing of the torch to these new ones. And it also bridges the gap between the end of the Golden Age and the beginning of the Silver Age in the DC universe.
Almost happening in real time.
Yes.
Because it was created around the same time, which I thought was absolutely cool.
Yeah, to the point where like it takes place in the 50s, but then as it goes forward, like if any of the heroes have a costume change or something, that happens in the year that happened in actual like continuity, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, right.
So Batman starts off as the dark, brooding, purple-gloved Batman.
Right.
Who isn't afraid to like shoot people. And then the next time you see him, it's like 4 years later, and he's got like the brighter blue, and he's got Robin. And they ask him like, "Oh, you changed your look," and what's he say?
Oh, he's like, "I just didn't want to scare kids anymore."
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is fucking great.
Yeah.
That's the best line in I think the whole book. I love it.
Oh, absolutely. And that's something that's never been like pieced together. It's just
but
different
it works
artists
so
draw him
well.
differently.
Yeah,
and you have like this God's eye view of the whole universe, and you're like, oh, we should give a reason for why Batman looks different now.
It's so good. Darwyn Cooke is just
A legend.
I could do this.
Should we pour some of this on my basement floor? And then you can clean it up like you didn't clean up that spill over there, you bastard. Setting it in the realistic, historical Earth, essentially. Yeah. It's very like Watchmen-esque. Where they have a superhero registration act, or they're banning superheroes.
Right. But it's not like as dour as like maybe Civil War made it seem to be, or even like Watchmen either. Obviously not as dour as Watchmen. You gotta get pretty dour to be Watchmen.
Quite dour.
And Darwyn draws everyone with a smile.
Oh, I know. So it just makes everything so great.
Yeah. So Neil, you recommended this book for the book club.
Yeah, absolutely.
What drew you to it? Why this one?
I'd never read this one before. I'd seen the animated movie, and I was like, hey, I'd like to give this one a shot. Was not disappointed. Loved every second of this book.
This is my first read of the book as well. I've seen the animated movie a bunch of times, and we did bring up that it's super close, but there was a lot more that was introduced in the book that never made it to the animated movie.
Yeah. A lot of the human characters. A lot of Flash, Green Lantern, Superman, but not as much as you would think in like a traditional DC book.
Right.
A lot of it, like almost full chapters, deal with these kind of like C-list characters, or maybe even further down the alphabet.
Right.
Like it kicks off with the Losers, which is a band of like military grunts that go on like a suicide mission essentially.
Yeah.
And they find, I guess we're getting into the villain at this point, which really kind of blew my mind.
The Center.
The Center, which this is a first appearance of the Center. I had to look it up and see, like, is this a thing? But it's like a sentient island inhabited by dinosaurs.
Right.
But the sentience was like from space, right? It like went and possessed the
island.
island.
And they explain it better in the book than they do in the movie, because in the movie it's just like, I'm an island that has dinosaurs on it. Fear me.
Yeah.
And in the book, it's like, I was a sentience from space that lived here forever, and now humanity is just like screwing up the world that I lived on forever, and now I'm going to fight back.
Yeah.
And I was like, that makes way more sense. Somehow, that makes way more sense.
But yeah, a strange villain, but the villain is kind of like a secondary point of this. Like, the point is just to set the time and tell the story of all these heroes coming together in a time when essentially they were outlawed by the government.
Yep.
And people didn't want costumed heroes. They wanted, like, law enforcement and everything.
Right.
So you had the Losers, who first journey to the island, and spoiler, they all die.
They lose.
Hence the
first
name.
issue.
Yeah. But some amazing splash pages there, especially the last guy as he dives into the Tyrannosaurus.
That was amazing.
Yep.
Oh my god, it was great. And also Rick Flag's Suicide Squad. Not the Suicide Squad that we all know and love today, but like just normal military guys, I guess.
Yep.
And then also the Challengers of the Unknown.
Right.
Who are kind of like the pre-Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
They seemed
kinda.
exactly like the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
They even had like the Fantastic cars and everything.
Oh yeah,
It was
yeah, they
phenomenal.
did. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Those parts not in the movie.
No, I think they were all cut, weren't they?
Yeah, they all show up at the end where like everyone's coming together,
Big
and you're like,
splash page.
where did all these guys come from? Because like at the end, they also
Read the tie-in.
they have all these characters. Also, the Blackhawks, which are
Yeah, the fighter pilots.
yeah, and I think that might have been the only other one that might have been cut from the movie. Oh, except for the
There was a John Henry thing cut from the movie.
right. There's
Yeah.
that, but like all those show up at the end of the animated feature, and I even watching it like just not that long ago, I was like, who are these jokers? Like these guys aren't the Flash.
But that's it. I mean, you could tell that Darwyn has this just outstanding appreciation for these old characters that
Right.
aren't in the books anymore.
Right.
And through this, he kind of showed like why they're not there. Like the losers all died.
Right.
But the other ones, like they kind of passed the torch to the next generation
Right.
there, and it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman are very like peripheral characters.
Right,
They might
very
get a
much
couple
so.
pages.
Yeah.
But Green Lantern and
Yeah.
the Flash, I would say, are kind of the main two.
With Martian
And
Manhunter.
Martian
And
Manhunter.
Martian Manhunter.
Right. Yeah. It's the Silver Age people that more come to the forefront.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed Green Lantern's story in this, how his origin plays in. But if you go from just seeing the animated feature to going to this, like you would think the whole book would be about him, and it's not. Like it shows his origin and like he's got an arc during the book.
He's got the longest arc for sure.
Right,
Yeah.
but the story's not about just him. Whereas the movie kind of makes it like about him, and then there's side stuff kind of going on.
And I can see that, because for a movie, you got to pick out at least one central character. This
Right.
is a very sprawling look at
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the entire DC, say universe, but like world, DC
Right, yeah.
Earth at
Yes.
that point. Martian Manhunter I really liked.
Oh, me
where
too.
We show him come to Earth.
Yep, he was my favorite arc, I would say, in the whole book.
Yeah, and he gets all his information from television.
Right.
So he's sitting there watching, and he turns into Bugs Bunny and all these characters.
Yeah.
And then he decides to become a detective, and he speaks in very like Hackney
Yeah,
detective
yeah, I
slang.
love that.
He's just Dick Tracy.
Yeah, did you get that he kind of looked like Dick Tracy? Was that a nod
I
to
get
Dick
it
Tracy?
now that you've said it, but I never put it together.
I thought there was some throwaway line in it where it was very like referential to Dick Tracy, but maybe I'm wrong.
But maybe
I
you're
don't know
right.
if Dick Tracy's like a Warner Brothers or a DC thing or not.
I think it might be independently owned.
Yeah.
Who is Warren Beatty still getting checks from? That's the question to ask.
There we go.
Stay topical. Warren Beatty jokes. All right. My main takeaway on this, and I read this a long time ago, like maybe 7 or 8 years ago, and I kind of like blitzed through it because I watched the movie and I was like, I don't get the center. I want more of
Right,
that.
right.
So I read the book, and they don't explain hardly anything else. A little bit more.
Right.
But I was like, I wasn't quite into comics at that point. I was like, I don't care about the losers or any of these guys.
Right.
But reading it now, I had a completely different appreciation for it.
Yeah, me too.
And I loved it.
Oh, yeah.
And the main takeaway was like, it was so inspiring.
Incredibly inspiring.
Yeah, just everyone, putting aside their differences for the good of the country. And this was like right around like pre-Cold War era too, right?
Yep.
Is that the time period this falls in? I'm
Yep.
terrible with history.
Yeah, it's like
Space race.
it's like right after Korea, and
Yep.
like it happens like during the Cold War.
Yeah, but a time when like Kennedy really got the country together.
Yep.
You had a leader that like unified the people, and then the heroes like embodied the American spirit to
Yep.
go explore and be better.
Yeah.
And my lord, I could not have read this at a better time than today.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
Watchmen was pertinent today.
Yeah. No, this is incredibly more pertinent.
Oh my god, that last speech, the epilogue of this book is
Oh, yeah.
Excerpts of JFK's speech.
Yeah.
And it is just unbelievably dead on for
Right.
what we're at right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
if you're a person that like you have your head in your hands every day when you open up the internet, like read this book
Yeah.
because they went through the same shit like 50 years ago.
Yeah.
And we're,
Yeah.
we're still here.
Still
so,
haven't learned
like
anything.
yeah.
Yeah. And I'd like to think maybe that even when this was written in 2004, like Bush era type things, like maybe it was topical towards that time too.
Yeah. I'm just going to play the JFK speech from the animated show here
Okay.
right now. because this is amazing.
Right.
It's like 2 minutes, so here we go.
The pioneers gave up their safety, their comfort, and sometimes their lives to build our new West. They were determined to make the new world strong and free, an example to the world. Some would say that those struggles are all over, that all the horizons have been explored, that all the battles have been won, that there is no longer an American frontier. And we stand today on the edge of a new frontier, the frontier of unknown opportunities and perils. Beyond that frontier are uncharted areas of science and space, unsolved problems of peace and war, unconquered province of ignorance and prejudice. I'm asking each of you to be pioneers towards that new frontier. My call is to the young in heart, regardless of age. Can we carry through in an age where we will witness not only new breakthroughs in weapons of destruction, but also a race for mastery of the sky and the rain, the ocean and the tides, the far side of space, and the inside of men's minds? All mankind waits upon our decision. A whole world looks to see what we shall do. And we cannot fail that trust, and we cannot fail to try.
Wow.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Absolutely just spot on. And it's full of stuff like that. There's another bit in here, I wrote it down. It's like in the first or second issue where the narrator is saying, racism, civil rights abuse, suppression of free speech, sexism, and government persecution that sidestepped the Constitution were the order of the day. In the face of this moral and rational slippage, the logical question remained, who would rise to the moral challenge of this bold new era?
It's uplifting is the best words. And even though they go through so much peril and loss in the book,
It's like a Pixar movie.
Still-
so much peril.
right? Still at the very end, Batman has a smile on his face. And
Yeah.
it's like, Jesus, that's what I need.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. I had a couple other really good quotes in here too. So Wonder Woman says to Superman, we just acted out here. She says, Cal, your real power lies not in your strength, but in your values and compassionate spirit. That is what America needs now, not another administration. Perfect Superman right there.
That is.
Not his strength. It's just like his ideals and his upbringing.
Yep.
Man. And then Superman 2 has this great line where he says, I think this is when he's rallying the troops. And he says, I will no longer be party to any form of oppression or persecution. I will not countenance any evils that threaten the constitutional freedoms of this great nation's people, whether they come from outside or within. It's in my destiny, my goal, to take part in reclaiming this country for free men and women everywhere. And I know in your hearts that you all want this too.
Oh.
So wow, just makes you want to go out and be a good person.
Right.
Yep.
Just race for the stars. Go explore space again.
Right.
Everybody's like that in the
Donate,
whole book.
donate to NASA.
Everybody is like that in the entire book. Martian Manhunter grows, just his whole arc is he doesn't want to look like a freak in front of, he doesn't want to scare people.
Right.
Much like Batman does. He's a hideous Martian, and all he wants to do is look the normal part and do the perfect thing for the human race. He becomes a detective and he just wants to do good things through the entire movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hal Jordan, same way. He doesn't want to kill. He hesitates to kill in the beginning, and he never wants to do it throughout the whole book, and his whole thing is he's the bravest person in the world, and he's just and he does it as a guy, just a normal man,
right?
Even as he takes up the Green Lantern mantle,
right?
He refuses almost to use the power, and he just wants to do it as himself,
right? I really like that part, and I don't think that's touched on as much in the movie.
No,
I think he takes it on pretty quick.
Yeah, he doesn't do it until the last issue.
Yeah, in the book, he's so hesitant to use it, even when he's got that one spacecraft, and he's like, listen, Ring, you're just gonna drive this thing and make it go, but I'm gonna do everything else, damn it.
Yeah.
And then,
I can do this.
And then when he only uses it when he's like at the last possible second, like, I'm gonna die, all these guys are gonna die, and spoilers, one of them does even.
Yeah.
And
one of the challengers?
I think so.
Yeah.
And he only gets to save one of them, but at that point, he's like, all right, this ring thing is, I guess, not so bad.
I'll make a mask and have a good time with it. Try your little off camera. Lean in more this way.
Okay, sorry.
There you go. All right. But when Wonder Woman liberates the women that are being persecuted over in the... I cannot remember if it's Vietnam or Korea or whatever it was. Just not a good situation. Superman comes in because he was told by the government to try to, like, clean it up.
Right.
And she's just like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. And she does a great line where she's like, there's the door, spaceman.
Yeah.
Love that.
I would say
God.
this is actually one of my favorite portrayals of Wonder Woman in general.
Yeah.
She essentially liberates all these women. She's like, I didn't do a thing. I just took these guys' guns and gave them to these women. What they did was on their own prerogative. It was pretty great.
Yeah.
And when Superman barges in, it's amazing that she gets up and she's a foot taller than Superman is. It's just
looks down
like
on.
it's amazing. Like, you don't see that portrayal anymore of her, and it's like that is empower. Like, if I were a woman, that would be empowering
For yourself. As a woman.
for yourself as a woman.
Yeah. The Flash is also in this. Almost kind of like peripherally.
He's probably got like the third largest story arc, I would say, or third most screen time.
Right. He's already kind of been the Flash and is kind of doing it on the side.
Because he won't register.
Right.
And the government is, like, actively trying to catch him.
Right.
Like, they're springing Gorilla Grodd traps on him. It's
Good
so
luck,
much that
government.
he, like, breaks onto the nightly news and says, like, these people are trying to get me. I'm out here helping. And your government is just trying to catch me.
Yeah. I really like that part. And I'd also liked his... Just his unconditional love for Iris.
Yeah.
When she's like in trouble in Las Vegas, and he's like, and I'm there in a second, and I'm just gonna whoop the shit out of Captain Cole. After that, like, the Flash is kind of out of it, but then he's also like the biggest part into saving almost everybody.
Yep.
Because he was the first character in DC of the Silver Age, sparking everything off. So it's like fitting for him to be like, I'm coming in here hot. I'm gonna save this whole thing.
Yeah, and he essentially does. He's like the instrumental piece of defeating him.
Yeah.
Of
Him and the Atom.
Ray Palmer.
I was just gonna say
brings
the
up-
Atom pre-Atom. Like, he wasn't
right.
the Atom yet, but he was creating, like, a thing that shrunk things.
Not well.
No.
For the better part.
Yeah, like what? It made him explode or something? Yeah. So he worked out the kinks before he took up the mantle.
I'm gonna try to shrink myself after I figure out how to not explode.
The exploding problem is an issue.
That's the right order to tackle these two steps. There was the John Henry, which was a very, like, hot button racial topic.
Right.
Which, again, very pertinent today still.
Sure.
Where a man's family is burned alive and he's lynched, but he survives, keeps the noose that he was hung up on the tree with, and then goes on, like, a Punisher type of crusade, killing, like, Ku Klux Klan members.
Right.
And finally he's beaten, but then in his honor, I think he inspires, I think it's Steel. It shows a young boy reading, like, a story or a comic book next to his grave. But it just shows, like, the wide reach of some of these characters. Which one did you read? Did you have the one that I have there? The deluxe edition?
I just have the paperback.
Did it have the extra material at the end?
Yeah, it had
So it had, like, a couple extra
pages
stories?
I didn't read them, though.
Okay, there's a really good Superman versus Batman story in there.
Oh, really?
Because earlier in the main series, it shows, like, a newspaper clipping of how Batman is still out there because even Superman couldn't take him down, and he, like, used a chemical thing to incapacitate Superman and get away. And that issue is all about that.
Oh, cool.
So, like, Superman goes in to take down Batman. They have, like, this huge battle, and then Wonder Woman steps in, and she's, like, the voice of reason, and she says, like, you guys can't be doing this. We need to figure out a way where you can both, like, leave amicably. And they, like, come up with this scenario where they make it look like Batman was able to stop Superman with some like
Oh,
chemical.
cool.
But Superman basically just kind of throws the fight.
Really?
And they even say like, man, what a guy. Like, how does he deal with this? He's the strongest guy in the world, and he has to like fake getting beat and keep it up and all that.
I also like how the book ends on like the first appearance of the Justice League where they're fighting Starro, and the whole end is like an homage to the first cover where all of them are wrapped up in
Its tentacles.
in its arms and just like punching this stupid large aquatic animal.
Yep.
Oh my
somehow.
god. I love that is constantly homaged, but never more than that. No one wants to write an issue of that, because they're
Right.
like, what am I going to do with this?
I would say my favorite part for that in general is like they have this after like the JFK speech, they do all these like huge poses, and at the very end you see like this giant sweep of all of them like posing
my
and
God,
flying,
yeah.
and then the next thing they're all wrapped up in Starro's tentacles.
Damn it! We were doing so good before.
Let's go! Oh! So that was an absolutely amazing iteration of the formation of the Justice League
Yeah.
in the time that they came from in the 50s.
Yeah.
So there you have it. Neil, Dinosaur Neil,
Yeah,
thanks for joining us today.
you're welcome, fellas.
I hope you had fun standing here. We only have 2 stools. I apologize.
Well, you didn't have to bring up that, but
I didn't want it
I
to
had
go
a great
unnoticed.
time, guys.
Thanks for removing yourself from the shadows.
You're very welcome.
You want to come back again sometime?
I'd love to come back.
I'll come
as
back
long
tomorrow?
as I no.
No?
As long as I get that subject material read, which was our problem to begin with. I'd be happy to come on and join you guys again.
All right.
Amazing.
We'll see what we can do.
Great.
Maybe we should leave it up to the 3 viewers.
Oh. So yeah, Justice League New Frontier. Have you read it? Should you read it? Yes.
Absolutely.
Tell us what you thought about the story down below, whether you saw the animated version, you read the story, and let us know what you think on Twitter at Imperius Rex Show.
Yep.
There you go. You can find me at Troy to the Max. Where can they find you, Neil?
You can find me at Dino Neilman on Twitter.
There you have it, everybody.
There you go.
But until next time, this has been Imperius Rex. Love comics, everybody.
Love them. Oh, he's fading away from memory as
no!
we speak. Oh, I think my underwear is backwards and inside out. I don't know how that happened.
You are a mess, Dave.